So as many of you guys know, the Samsung Galaxy S20 just got announced yesterday and it's going to be for sale very soon, and I'm really happy about it. But here's the slight issue with the Samsung Galaxy S20, and it's not necessarily with the phone itself. It's not a problem with the phone hardware. It's not like the screen's broken or anything. The main problem I have with the S20 lineup of this year is that they really took the pricing strategy to a whole different level, and that might be more obvious than the next thing I'm going to say. So the pricing structure, if you think about it, last year the Galaxy S10 Plus used to cost, I think, around that $999 price tag, and that was that top tier model. There was the S10e, the Samsung Galaxy S10, and then the S10 Plus. So technically speaking, last year $1,000 got you that top tier model at the time. But if you look at now in 2020, okay, just 1 year later, you can see that the $1,000 price tag will actually get you the base model Galaxy S20. So it won't get you that top tier model as it gave you last year, which is pretty weird. Okay, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it like, it's not like the end all be all, but that's kind of a weird thing in and of itself. But here's the bigger issue that I really have a problem with that is already kind of answered, but it's also not answered at the same time, and that would be the successor to the Samsung Galaxy S10e. If you guys remember the S10e that was released last year, honestly was one of my favorite phones, and it was a super smart thing for Samsung to do. But if you see this year, they actually took out that E lineup, so there's no Samsung Galaxy S20e, and last year that phone was selling for about $750, and now they're still keeping it in their lineup. They're still keeping the S10 lineup. You know, they decreased the prices, I think $150, but that's still not enough. I mean, I don't want to buy a 1 year old version of the phone. I want to buy the newest version of the phone. And what happens next year when the S10e is, gone and it's probably not even getting software support anymore? What are they going to do then, Are they still going to sell that phone? Like, it really doesn't make much sense there. And that's a really huge issue that I'm seeing right now. And the reason I know this affects a lot of people, at least me personally, is that, dude, literally every time I make a video or comparison about the more expensive models of phones, like the Galaxy S10 Pluses, the 11 Pro Maxes, the 10s Maxes, even like the S9, S8 Pluses, there seems to be less hype about those phones than the base model storage phones, like the cheapest phones of those times. Even like you look at the 11 Pro, like I did all those comparisons like a couple months ago, and then I did the iPhone 11 comparisons, and all those iPhone 11 comparisons got way more views. And I think that has a lot to do with the price tag of the phones and obviously the availability. A lot of people, they just don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone. If I'm being real, they just don't want to do it. They would way rather spend like $600 or $700 on a phone and pocket the rest of the $300, because that sounds way better than spending $1,000 on a phone, and that's a lot of money. And I understand you're getting a lot better hardware, I guess, but at the same time, the really main thing that I'm saying is just the camera upgrade. And for me personally, like, that is the least important thing for me. There's a lot of other things that I care about that are beyond the camera. And even when I was listening to their show yesterday, I was like, dude, there's like so many other things they could be talking about on this phone. They just kept talking about the camera, which I understand is very important, but I just don't know that many people who just care about the camera, if I'm being honest. Like, if the camera quality is great, then that's awesome, but I think for a majority of people, they don't really care. Now, I understand you're getting that 5G support, which is kind of understandable to why they increased the prices, but it seems like they went from one end to the other. And I understand they also released the Note 10 Lite and the S10 Lite, but at the same time, those things are more in pair with the Galaxy S10 than the S20, and even though they kind of look the same, it's still a very weird thing that they did there. And the fact that these phones are even more expensive than the iPhones, but software support, they're actually not going to be lasting as long as it is going to be crazy. And I just don't really understand why they do that. If we're spending more on this phone than an iPhone, we should be expecting to get more. And hardware we are, but software, I just don't think we're there yet. And also another thing to note, the trade-in values are actually a lot less this year than they were last year. So not only did the phones get more expensive, but the trade-in values have also gotten less from Samsung. So it's kind of like a whole thing that's just based around the pricing of this phone. This phone costs a lot more than last year, and of course the camera got better, and you do have to kind of pay for upgrades. Me personally, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to get all models anyway. I'm going to compare them no matter what they cost. But looking as a consumer and as like a consumer standpoint, I can totally see why it's kind of an annoying thing, and Samsung really didn't do the consumers too well. They have all these budget phones too, so I guess that kind of evens it out a little bit. They have the Lite series now, but still, I think it was a very weird thing that they did, and I would have loved to see a Samsung Galaxy S10e successor, you know, the Galaxy S20e or whatever. But I guess that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.